Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is episode 125 of the American Reveille Podcast. And in this episode, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not just going to go through one or two articles. I'm going to skim, read, and go through multiple articles, multiple different things, because I'm going to try to make a point to you. I want to try to make you understand, make you see, make you feel what's happening. We're like cattle. We're being corralled. Ladies and gentlemen, we're being corralled. All right. You have all these different companies standing up against voter integrity laws. You have all these different actors, famous people pushing us, taking jobs away from people in certain states, doing things in the name of social justice that hurt people just to make themselves look better in a fake way. We have the NCAA, the NCAA saying that transgenders can compete everywhere. If you don't let transgenders compete in the high school in your state, well, then we won't let them compete at all in your state. Folks, the states are splitting. The states are splitting, and on a world stage to all the other countries, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, because where else do you go besides civil war? All right. I think there's a couple different options. I don't know if it's going to get there, but this don't look good. And we're going to talk about it next on the American Reveille Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is episode 125 of the American Reveille Podcast. I'm still wearing this neck brace. I still look like an uncircumcised penis. If you really, really want to know what happened to my neck, it's not as interesting as you think, but listen to the last couple podcasts. You'll find out. Guys, we are being corralled like cattle. All right. We're being moved around like pieces on a chessboard. There's some ominous plan behind it. There's some brainwashing. There's some strategy involved. There's some real tyrannical, some real strategical, and some real monstrous, dare I say, schemes and plots afoot, in my opinion. We have all these major companies coming out. And now they're all political all of a sudden. Now they all have a voice, right? They've all done what they had to do. They've contributed to society to get a bunch of people to like their products more and buy more from them. And they're influencers on social media. So screw it. They've got power now. They're the power. They're the companies with the power. Technocrats, corporatists, the companies with the power companies. But we're not talking about FP&L or Puget Sound Energy or anything like that. No, we're talking about Starbucks, because, you know, people who roast coffee beans know about voter ID laws. You know, we're talking about United Airlines, because understanding the Constitution has a lot to do with flying an airplane. Guys, we have a bunch of companies, a bunch of legal entities that represent big Democrat organizations. They've all come together to condemn Georgia. I mean, I've got all kinds of news out from the NCAA with transsexual community. We got news with Comedy Central's Trevor Noah, Will Smith, all this. But I'm not going to go through all of it heavy and keep you here for 2 hours. I want to briefly do an overview on a lot of this stuff, because there's a theme I want to get on. And I'm going to try to bring this theme together as we go through this, and then try to tie it together at the end. Because, again, like I said, it's simple. We are being corralled. Why? Why are we being corralled? I don't know if I have the answer, but I'm definitely going to raise the damn question. And we're going to end up returning to this big chart here. We'll read some of this, go through some of this, and then we're going to skip over. All right. But it says right here from Deadline. All right, deadline.com. It says major corporations, celebrities, and other prominent figures signed on to a 2-page ad opposing any discriminatory legislation or measures that restrict eligible voters from having an equal and fair opportunity to cast a ballot. Netflix, UTA, CAA, Viacom, CBS, they were among the media and entertainment companies to sign the ad, which comes amid concerns over the impact of the Republican voting legislation in Georgia, Texas, and other states. Also signing were big tech companies like Amazon, Alphabet, Apple, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, Salesforce. Alphabet owns Google, by the way, guys. As well as live event businesses, Live Nation Entertainment and Jazz Lincoln Center. All right. They don't know what they're talking about, but they're doing this. They're signing on to this. These are people that control the narrative. These are companies that have an interest. You know, voting for all includes illegal aliens to them. And to them, they have a right to vote. To a company, an illegal alien is a customer. All right. If an illegal alien has $100 bill and wants to buy a pair of headphones from Bose, who am I kidding? $300 and wants to buy a pair of headphones from Bose, the illegal alien's going to buy the headphones. No one's checking an ID for that. Nobody even checks ID on credit cards. Nobody. Come on. Chip. Good to go. When was the last time somebody checked your ID? If somebody checked your ID on a credit card or a debit card lately, put it in the comment section below. I don't believe your ass. I don't believe you. All right. So these people are just protecting money. It's all about money. Or is it? We'll have to keep reading. We'll have to keep looking and check stuff out. All right. We'll return to the chart. I've got a bigger blown up one at the end. Don't worry. Look at this. Wall Street corporations, they team up with Soros funded group to pressure states against election reforms. So let's dig a little deeper. All right. We talked briefly about these companies. We talked briefly about things forming up. And by the way, do me a favor, guys. If you've been looking for a good CBD oil, looking for a good natural remedy to anxiety, to stress, to inflammation, to pain, to just tension, things like that, and you're not looking for something as strong as marijuana, you're looking for something like CBD, something that's THC free, that's not going to get you high, but that's just going to give you the benefits that you need, do me a favor. Head over to ancientlifeoil.com. It's 100% pure, 100% done here in America, 100% non-hallucinogenic. You're not going to get a high, but you're going to get all the amazing benefits that everybody's been talking about. Head to ancientlifeoil.com, ancientlifeoil.com, ANCIENT, lifeoil.com. Get yourself some Ancient Life Oil. It's pure CBD oil. Use promo code JAMES, JAMES, promo code JAMES at ancientlifeoil.com. Get yourself free shipping and handling right on my name, baby. Use that name, James. Free shipping and handling, ancientlifeoil.com. You won't regret it. It's helping me a ton with this neck issue. All right. My neck is yanked, man. All right. Another day or two. And if it's still this bad, I'm going to the doctor. I'm going to get myself an MRI or an X-ray or something, because who the hell knows? My shoulders are killing me. All right. It feels like I have needles all up my back and down my legs and in the bottom of my feet. You know that feeling like when you're partially dreaming and you're like looking over a cliff in your dream, and then your feet, or like when you're watching a YouTube video of one of those crazy people climbing up the side of a building or standing on the edge of a building and looking over, and then you feel that weird tingling in the bottom of your feet. That's what I'm feeling that right now. It's not stopping. And it's like a nerve thing. I really hope it goes away. But the CBD oil is helping tremendously. So trust me, guys. Give it a shot. AncientLifeOil.com. Promo code James. Free shipping and handling. If you're not convinced yet, stick around 2 or 3 minutes at the end of this episode. And please check a little ad out I put together on Ancient Life Oil. It will convince you. You will check it out. And you will like it. I'm telling you. You'll like it. All right? And do me a favor. If you don't want to do that, if you want to put your money into something else, do me a favor, head over to AmericanReveille.com or look in the description section below. Hit the support us tab, the donate button. Please send us over a couple dollars. I'll be glad to take it, invest it right back into the American Reveille so we can expand our operation and get the word out to more patriots like you and me. Folks, let's keep reading. Wall Street corporations team up with Soros-funded group to pressure states against election reforms. That's right, folks. George Soros is involved. Of course, the Great Reset has some stuff to do with this. Of course. Of course, this is Breitbart. Let's take a look. Wall Street firms, multinational corporations, and giant law firms are teaming up with the Brennan Justice Center, which is a heavily funded by billionaire George Soros to pressure states against reforms to their election process. Remember when I told you in the last article that there are Democrat organizations and heavily funded organizations? That's what I'm talking about. The Brennan Justice Center, connected to George Soros, after Georgia lawmakers passed sweeping reform legislation to protect the state's election, including requiring photo ID to vote, Corporate executives have blasted the move, and many are suggesting they'll boycott the state by moving business elsewhere. When did they have the right? When did they have the right to do these things, to act like this? This isn't their business, but it is, isn't it? Ever since they got involved using corporate social responsibility, ever since corporations started getting their hands dirty in social issues and influencing people in social media, now corporations have truly taken a life of their own. And unfortunately, it's like a 32-year-old virgin liberal's life with purple hair and an anger problem. Now, Fortune 500 corporate executives, Wall Street firms, and attorneys at some of the nation's largest law offices are reportedly working with the Leftwing Brennan Justice Center to pressure state lawmakers from passing similar election reforms. The corporate coalition is seeking to sue states for passing such reforms while threatening to pull their business endeavors from states that do not pass reforms. So what's happening is that this is an umbrella group that has a bunch of other groups that work with it, right? That goes around to all these states and then sues and tries to suck all their money dry and get things to shut down. So they'll pull all of the money out. So they pull their businesses. The money doesn't come into the state. There's no income for the state. The state loses money, job opportunities. People become employed. It hurts the state, right? So it's literally like holding a gun to the head of a state. That's what these companies are doing. This is literally a gigantic hostage note, a giant ransom note, right? New York Times reports the following. Many of Wall Street's most powerful firms are part of the effort, including Simpson Thacher, Skadden Arps, Aiken Gump, Kravitz, Swain and Moore, Rope and Gray, Sullivan, Cromwell, Weil, Gottschall, Manges, Vashtelepten. I don't know how to say all those names. We plan to challenge any election law that would impose unnecessary barriers on the right to vote. And again, we beat the dead horse with this. Nothing that the Georgia rules did makes a barrier to vote. Even people who can't get ID, they can get it for free. It's too expensive. Georgia will give it to you for free. We restrict hours. No, they don't. They expanded the hours. They're lying. They're liars. The firms will work with the Brennan Center for Justice, a nonprofit organization, to identify laws to challenge in court. Mr. Karp said that it could include challenging the voting law that Republicans passed in Georgia last month, which set off a national debate over voting rights. Over the weekend, more than 100 corporate executives discussed in a meeting the importance for them to publicly oppose the reform legislation like Georgia's. All right? This is places like Levi's, Merrick, all this stuff. It's garbage. Again, they shouldn't have a role. They should be stripped of their right to participate. You are an organization, not a partisan group, not a political nonprofit. You make money. You influence people. Therefore, you should be held accountable. The federal government should spank you, should spank your bottom and put you in timeout for what you did. All right? I'm not talking easy, baby. I'm talking spank the shit out of you. All right. And like take your privileges away, penalize your companies heavily. Your companies shouldn't have a say in politics. When your companies do this, millions of dim-witted, freaking single-minded people that listen to brainwashing from one-liners put out on social media follow whatever they're told. They do whatever the frick they're told. Yeah, Levi's, my jeans are telling me how to vote. My Apple Watch is telling me how to vote. That's literally what we're dealing with here. It's literally what we're dealing with here. So companies shouldn't have a right to play with the puppet strings on the idiots. The government shouldn't be able to play with the idiots' puppet strings either. Let the idiots play with each other. Stop playing with the idiots. All right, this is a don't play with the idiot zone. That's a t-shirt right there. Stop playing with the idiots with the knife. Stop playing with the idiots. Okay? If the idiots just play with each other, eventually natural selection will just do its thing. All right? But it just gets worse. It just gets worse. In Texas, all right, the NCAA is threatening to pull out their events from Texas. They're doing it because Texas is going to defy them and they're going to ban transgender athletes. Good. Because women can't compete fairly. All right. Transgender athletes beat the shit out of women. There is no equality in that. It's a lie. You want to go play rugby? Go make a transgender rugby league. All right. I'll watch men in skirts and pumps and high heels freaking decapitate each other playing football. Why not? Oh my God, Marcella, 6'8", 340-pound Linda with a 9-inch heel through the jugular of Marcetta. Like, go right, fuck, I'll watch that. A ton of we'll make it a drinking game, man. I'll make millions of dollars. But no, instead you want to take away the rights of women. It's stupid. It's real stupid. All right. But because of that, because Texas is standing up for the rights of women, no, they're going to get penalized. This is all trust me, I'm going to pull this all together. The Texas Senate approved legislation. This is by Warner Todd Huston, by the way. The Texas Senate approved legislation limiting transgender athletes to competing only in categories that correspond to their birth gender, in contravention to the NCAA's recent decision to allow transgender people to play in their choice of categories. Man, they're going to have like a wrestling match or something, and some dude's literally going to decapitate a woman with his bare hands. I'm sorry. I love you, ladies. You're not that strong. All right. I don't care how skilled you are. I don't care if you're Ronda Rousey. Go Google Bob Sapp. All right. If Bob Sapp put on a wig, okay, and said, I'm a lady, and decided to go in as Barbara Sapp, all right, and fought right now, whoever the UFC women's champion is, she would die. She would be dead. He would pop her head off and drink the freaking growth hormone out of her spinal cord. That's how that would go. So, no, I don't agree with transgenders being able to play in women's sports. I'm sorry. I love the ladies too much. On Monday, the NCAA Board of Governors insisted colleges and universities that participate in NCAA tournaments must allow transgender athletes to play in any sport they want. The board insisted that it firmly and unequivocally supports the opportunity for transgender student athletes to compete in college sports. I heard on Crowder earlier that there's like a high school somewhere, because they always talk about, oh, it's only a select few. Well, the number 1 and number 2 girls on the track team in that high school are both dudes that are transsexuals, which means they get the scholarship to college. All right. So they take the guys on track, get their scholarships to college, and then 2 transsexuals, 2 are men who have become women, right? They then win the scholarships from the girls. So now no natural women get to go. I don't, you get pissed off at me for that. Kiss my ass. I really don't care. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. I think the left are the real racists. The radical left are the true racists, the racists that have been around for 100+ years since, before the Civil War. And they just found a new way to do it. They've always hated women. They've always hated minorities, and they found a way to enslave everybody through all of this ridiculousness, this militancy, this radical left-wing ideology, this hate. It's hate. All right? It's hate. It's confuse, divide, and conquer. Plain and simple. All right? When determining where championships are held, NCAA policy directs that only locations where hosts can commit to providing an environment that is safe, healthy, and free of discrimination should be selected. You're discriminating against ladies. Okay, just saying. We will continue to closely monitor these situations to determine whether NCAA championships can be conducted in ways that are welcoming and respectful of all participants. Is everyone high? Did brainworms take over everybody that's on the left? Are we in La La Land? Is everybody suffering from dementia? How do you not see that? How do you not see the problem here? All right. Is everybody just that afraid to lose their job and livelihood and be ridiculed by the mob? Or are they really that effing dumb? Because it could be either one. I've met some real dumb humans in my time. It could be either one. All right. Texas isn't alone in considering laws to restrict athletes, all right, from competing in categories that correspond only to their birth genders, all right? Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Idaho have put similar laws in place already. Up to a dozen other states are considering similar measures, and they should. And they should. It's a feel-good thing. I'm glad they're doing it, but that's not the point of it. Look, now we have states. They're pulling businesses out of all these states. They're pulling athletic competition out of all these states. That's money. That's income. All right. When you look back to the Civil War, the South had a problem because its economy was shit, right? Its economy was shit. It was based on real bad stuff. All right. And the North, they had all of the industries. All right. So now we're in a situation where they're setting us up in like the same way, except we really did nothing wrong. Right. So like you're looking at all these southern states, there's no slavery. There's no evil happening. In fact, they've done studies and they've looked at rural America, and those places are safer and less racist than the Democrat cities for people of color and minority communities. The studies have been done. It's true. It's a fact. Look it up. It's a fact. All right. So why? Why are we being corralled? Why are they defunding states, entire states? It seems that states are picking sides and companies are picking states and making coalitions. So what happens when they suck 10 southern states dry and their economies are dying and all the powers in the North? What is going to be their excuse for conquering us? Because we're not doing anything. Is it going to be all this made up stuff? Voter suppression, Jim Crow, they cry, I burped. Sorry about that. Racism, they cried. Right? All of this stuff. I even surprised myself. I'm like, oh, I burped. Oh, excuse me. No, they cry racism. They cry oppression. All these things, they make it up. If they say it enough, does it become real to people? So without ever having done anything, do 80 million Americans end up in the gulags? Do they end up being oppressed? Do they end up being forgotten because they didn't go with the woke agenda? And why? Why are we being corralled? Why is this being done? What is the ultimate goal? How is the ultimate power going to come to fruition for these people? It's not just them. Hollywood does it. Look, Comedy Central's Trevor Noah. He says the system of policing in America is designed to keep poor and black people in their place. All right? It's not. It really isn't. Look at the family structures for the poor and black people in America. It's not just black people, all poor people. I come from a broken, poor family too. And my chances were shit. And most of the people I grew up with didn't make it in the world. Okay? But didn't come from the cops. That ain't where it comes from. All right? We don't have to get into this with him. Trevor Noah's been talking and talking and talking and talking, and you can find his stuff. I don't want to talk about him or listen to his voice. He's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. He lives in a mansion somewhere, and he thinks he knows what happens in the streets in America. Bullshit, son. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. You're a little rich boy living in a freaking palace talking about social issues somebody writes for you. He doesn't know. He's too busy with his Prada bag collection, guys. Come on. Come on. So Trevor Noah, he's out there talking a bunch of crap, comparing things to the apartheid in South Africa, comparing our cops to racist Nazis. He does all that. And Will Smith, of course, moves his film out of Georgia. Will Smith film moving out of Georgia in protest of states' regressive voting laws at a cost of $15 million to the movie budget. What they don't tell you is hundreds of people, black, white, minority, it doesn't matter, Latino, whatever, they all lost their jobs because he left. Yep. Can't go in Georgia. Got to pull the money out. Got to F Georgia. You know, Atlanta is pretty Democrat and they're getting screwed. They get screwed. These people don't care. None of them care. Actor Will Smith, along with director Antoine Fuqua, announced that they're moving production of their upcoming film Emancipation out of Georgia in protest of the state's regressive voting laws that are designed to restrict voter access. Hey, Fuqua, fuck yeah. I'm sorry, I wanted to do that. The outlet cited a Monday statement from the production companies headed by Smith and fuck yeah, explaining their reasons for exiting Georgia. Quote, at this moment in time, sorry, Will Smith, you don't get to sound like a normal human. You get to sound like a pretentious douchebag because that's what you are. At this moment in time, the nation's coming to terms with its history and is attempting to eliminate vestiges of institutional racism to achieve true racial justice. We cannot, in good conscience, provide economic support to a government that enacts regressive voting laws that are designed to restrict voter access. The new Georgia voting laws are reminiscent of voting impediments that were passed at the end of Reconstruction to prevent many Americans from voting. Regrettably, we feel compelled to move our film production work from Georgia to another state. Yeah, I'm sorry. Will Smith sounds like that now. You're a douchebag. A bunch of people lost their jobs, and all they did was require people to have voter ID and extend the hours in security. They put a guard at the booth, all right, for the drop off so that people put in the right ballots. That's it. And if you can't afford the voter ID, they'll give it to you for free. There was no internet in the it took like 6 months to get across the country in the 1800s. What the F oh my God. I don't even think Will Smith knows how to read. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, Will Smith is a dumbass and he gives me a headache. Anyway, I can't. This is just another description. All right. Here's what the law says. Are you ready? The law ramps up security for Georgia's elections by requiring photo IDs for mail-in ballots and even expands early voting hours. Yet, it's almost been universally criticized by the left and fallen victim to their false attacks. For example, President Joe Biden earned 4 Pinocchios from the Washington Post for saying the law ends voting hours early, so working people can't cast their vote. It was a lie. It was such a lie that even the Washington Post had to call him out. The paper added that Georgia's far left Senator Raphael Warnock signed on to a third-party email that contained false information about the voting law. Wow. That's nice. So he even literally put his name behind a lie. All right. Nothing happens to these people. It's double world. Just like I said in the last episode, the Tucker Carlson one, where he's talking about 2 different justice systems. We have a double-sided world here, a hypocrisy, literally a world where the left is prosecuted one way and the right's persecuted another way. The left's treated like saints, the right's treated like sinners, when in fact, the left are the ones pretending to be saints while dressed in the devil's clothing, ladies and gentlemen. All right. What's that old quote? What is it from? Is it from Othello? I'm not going to end the episode. I'm going to end this part of this episode with that quote. What is it? Old odd ends, right? The devil's clothes. Let me see. How does it go? There it is. Let's see. That's Shakespeare. That's from King Richard III. And thus I clothe my naked villainy with odd old ends stolen out of holy writ and seem a saint when most I play the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the left. Okay. If you don't understand that, I can't read some books, read a couple more books, go watch some movies and then go read Shakespeare. I don't know what to tell you, but that's what's happening. And before we end this episode, I want to revisit the chart they were telling you about. And I want to tell you, at least just read off the companies that have signed on. This is what threatening propaganda, this is what a knife shaped as a piece of paper looks like. Because all of this tells Georgia, okay, tells any state that if you do this, if you go forward, you will pay a financial price. We will suck you dry. We will take your money from you and we will go hurting your people. All right. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stand up for what's right, or are you going to let your people suffer? The choice is yours. All right. We stand for democracy, a lie, a government of the people, by the people. Here's the thing. They consider illegals people. All right. They consider people with no IDs to be able to vote 10 times if they want. How do you know if somebody's voted if you're not checking their ID? How does one person get one vote? They don't. All right. It says we all should feel a responsibility to defend the right to vote and oppose any discriminatory legislation. None of them even read it. They were all criticized for this. These are companies that support this. All right. We're going to go down the list. It's going to take a couple minutes. Accenture, AIG, Airbnb, Alphabet, they own Google, Amazon, American Airlines, American Express, Apple, Bain and Company, Bank of America, Berkshire Partners, Best Buy, Biogen, BlackRock, BMC Software, Boston Consulting Group, Broadridge Financial Solutions. Let's see. What else does it say here? Cambridge Associates, Cisco, Civic Entertainment Group, Climb Credit, COD A-Works, Cowboy Ventures, Creative Artists Agency, Dell still? Okay. Discover Financial Services, Deloitte, or Deloitte, or Deloitte, or I don't know how to pronounce that. Dropbox, Eaton, Emerson Collective, Estee Lauder, Eventbrite, EY, Facebook, of course, Ferrara, First Mark Capital, Found on Road Dead, Ford Motor Company, General Catalyst, General Motors, Goldman Sachs, Harry's Inc., Hess, IBM, Insight Partners Leadership, Instacart, Intelligentsia Coffee, J&J, Jazz Lincoln Center, JetBlue, Kosha Ventures, Levi Strauss and Company, Live Nation Entertainment, Loop Capital Markets, Lyft, M&T Bank, MasterCard, McKinsey and Company, Merck, Microsoft Corporation, Mondelez International, Netflix, Newell Brands, Nordstrom, Otherwise Incorporated, Paper Source, PayPal, Peloton. You remember when Peloton came out with the treadmill ad? It was like, get a treadmill for Christmas for your wife, and the left tried to cancel them, and now they're standing with the left. Great job, Peloton. Another company attacked by the left, and then virtue signals with the left to try to receive forgiveness, but overall, ultimately will get destroyed by the left, because that's what they do when you beg for forgiveness and apologize to them. Pinterest, Played, Pledixian Bio, PwC, Reddit supports this, REI Co-op, Richer Poorer, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Seventh Generation, Slow Ventures, Smith and Company, Sodexo USA, Sodexo Magic, Sonos, Sound Ventures, Spark Capital, Square, Starbucks, Steelcase, Survey Monkey, Sweet Green, Synchrony, T. Rowe Price, Target for some of us, T. Rowe Price, I said that already, Tory Burch LLC, TripAdvisor, Twilio, Twitter, Under Armour, United Airlines, United Talent Agency, Vanguard, Viacom CBS, VMware, Warburg Pincus, Warby Parker, Wells Fargo, Zendesk, and Zola la la Lola. Guys, F all these people. Boycott them to hell. Listen, again, this is a threat on paper, and all these companies need to mind their own business. All right? They need to mind their own business, but they're not. They're not. We're all being corralled. The states are being split apart. Certain states are being defunded by the left in whatever way they can and pressured to do the bidding of what seems like George Soros. So please, somebody enlighten me. Tell me, what do you think? What do you think we're being split apart for? What do you think we're being divided for? Why are we intentionally being led down certain paths and corralled like cattle? Is it because we're being led to a nature reserve or to a pasture? Or is it because we're being led to our slaughter? All right. You decide. You let me know in the comments section below, folks. I'm just a messenger. I'm just bringing you the information. This is episode 125 of the American Reveille Podcast. And if you loved what you heard, please do me a favor and share this. Please sign up for the newsletter to know what you missed every week. If you missed anything, or if you're a fan that catches everything, thank you so much for the support. I love you for it and I appreciate it. All right, guys. But please do me a favor. Follow me on Gab. Follow me on Parler. All of the social medias in the description section below. And again, if you love what we do, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, talk about the American Reveille Podcast. It's what you need to do to get the word out, okay? Without you, we can't get past the wall of censorship. And if you don't keep watching this, and if you don't subscribe to the newsletter, you're not going to know about the $200 sticker competition that I post in the next couple weeks. I'm not full of crap. This isn't a game. I'm really going to post a sticker competition with a grand prize. All right, for $200. And I will be sending out stickers to the people who participate. All right, folks. So please follow along. Thank you guys so much. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, give me that 5-star rating. I love you all. And if you have a second, stick around for a few minutes and check out this Ancient Life oil ad I put together. Best CBD oil on the market, folks. I swear by it. AncientLifeOil.com. Promo code James. Get yourself free shipping and handling. Thank you guys so much for checking out episode 125. Love you guys. See you guys on the next episode. Bye. Let me get your attention for a second. I want to tell you about something. I want to share something with you that's very near and dear to me. All right, guys, I have joint pain. I'm sure it's no secret by now. All right. I have joint pain, hip pain, I have elbow pain, I have inflammation. All right. I get stressed out. I'm going through so much political news doing this podcast. So much. You can imagine how stressful that is. All right. How much anxiety that can cause, how many sleepless nights I have. But folks, I've been taking CBD oil for a while now. All right, for a while now, and it's fantastic. And a while ago, just a little while ago, I came across Ancient Life Oil, all right? And I got it from ancientlifeoil.com. And this stuff is fantastic, all right? It's the best source, the best and most trusted source for CBD oil in the United States. It's 100% pure. It's 100% THC free, no psychoactive effects, no high, nothing like that, just pure CBD, pure relief from all of those issues, relief from sleeplessness, relief from anxiety, relief from stress, from inflammation, right? Relief from joint pain, relief from all of these things that could really hinder your daily life, your daily activities, really put you in a bad place. This stuff lifts your mood up. It's fantastic. All right, it's legal in all 50 states. People are really experiencing wonderful change in their life, basically doing something that people have been doing for thousands of years, guys. If you head to ancientlifeoil.com, ancientlifeoil.com, the same place I went, all right, the same place I went to get the stuff, you can go on there, use promo code James, James, at ancientlifeoil.com, ANCIENT, Life Oil, ANCIENT, lifeoil.com, promo code James, James, promo code James, free shipping and delivery, folks, free shipping and delivery. Guys, this is a great product. You are missing out if you need to do CBD and you're just not doing it for some reason, guys. I don't know what's stopping you anymore. It's 2021. Folks, if you want relief from these issues, you want to do it in a natural way without taking medications, you want to do it in a way that's helpful. I have found CBD oil to be very beneficial, and I believe it will be very beneficial for you as well. So one more time, ancientlifeoil.com, ANCIENT, lifeoil.com, promo code James, free shipping and delivery, folks. Give it a shot. I really, really know it'll make you a believer just like I am. All right, folks, let's get back to the show.